Monday night.
This island Earth. No.
Right.
What?
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. We are all here exploring this great majesty and wonder.
My name is Locke. I'm joined by Jason, Mike, and Nick, and we're streaming Absolver for this week's Co-Optimus stream, which is...
This game looks weird.
It is a weird game. You're dropped into this wonderful, beautifully crafted world, and you punch things and kick things until they fall over. And sometimes you can help them up, and sometimes you leave them down. But
I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
You wear creepy
Now I'm actually
masks,
going
too.
to send out stuff that we're streaming. So you can do that intro.
Are those eyelashes on your mask there, Locke?
yeah, I just got this mask. Let's check it out. Let's check out my mask. It's called Silly Face Mask.
It's called literally. Yep.
I mean, it looks like an Emil face from near.
Well,
almost.
that's why I'm wearing. I'm either going Tier Chief Mask or Silly Face Mask.
Stuff like,
Inspiration from a frog. I like it. And I'm going with this sort of leather-bound theme with some metal plating. I thought it was kind of cool.
So is this a survival game?
It is not.
Because
It
it
is
looks
not.
like one.
It is. It is a fighting game. A brawler. It's a brawler, I should say. It's not a fighting
It's a
game.
brawler.
It's
But
a brawler.
I mean, like, there's fighting concepts, right? Like, there's very much a underlying
In terms
idea
of
here of
footsies
hey,
and
there's
fakes.
feints, there's cancels, there's dodges, there's
different
I see.
schools. I believe Jason, did you pick the dodge school again?
No, I went
Okay.
ahead and I grabbed the strength one just so we can show off.
Okay,
the
nice,
different
yeah. So at the start of the game, it asks you what school you want to be in, and there you get to choose from 3, and you unlock more later on. But I went with the dodging one, which is kind of like the medium difficulty one, which focuses on I have to lock onto you. Focuses on obviously dodging. So if you throw a punch, Jason, you can see that I'm not well versed in this school of thought.
Okay. So there's
There,
Team,
I got
team
one in.
image.
I got
There
one
you
in. But you can dodge like down. You can jump if they do a sweep, and
or
then
if you want to attack me, I can. The strength school, I can absorb stuff.
Hey guys, is this Xenoclash?
yes, it's very
In
close to
some
Xenoclash.
ways,
It's like
Or is it God Hand?
a little
above.
all of the above. Yes,
Okay.
the answer is yes because before we go adventuring, I need to show you when you meditate. You've got a yes. I don't want to say Souls-like because I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but you can upgrade your guy however you want. I put all my points into dexterity.
So it's The Witcher.
Sure. But I mostly wanted.
Let's just name every game from
Yeah,
the
just
past
name
10
every-
years and just see
There
when we
is
hit
no
the mark.
original idea anymore.
I mostly wanted to go into this combat deck, which is really cool, and I've unlocked I've got like 3 moves for a lot of the sequences here, but you basically get to choose what moves go where, and it's quite an elegant system because this punch, for example, there's 4 quadrants. This punch puts you in the top right quadrant, and then that allows you to go to another set of moves, and you can kind of build your deck around making these cool combo strings. And it's made like it's quite simple. Like X is attack, and then you have Y for a strong attack or an alternative attack, and you kind of like switch between these stances and to try and basically outsmart and outfight your opponent. So I was talking to Jason earlier today, and it's kind of like you make your combat deck, and they named it quite aptly. Like it is a deck. You're like kind of like in Magic, where you're trying to prepare for any scenario. You're going to be stronger against some matchups and weaker against others. But it's quite an elegant system that I've never seen before. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like there is. We joked earlier about like there's no original idea, or whatever, but there is definitely originality to this in the way that they've put some of these things together. I mean, there's definitely elements from like, I mean, Dark Souls. Saying that there's elements from Dark Souls is not entirely incorrect, right? There's places where you explore in these environments, you find shortcuts or the way that you fight enemies and gain experience from fighting them, and then if you die, you lose that experience. Um, there's also elements of journey where like other players will just randomly show up in your game, and if you want, like you can team up with them or you can fight them, right? I mean, like they just kind of leave it open.
Or just kick someone in the back of the head while they're fighting Jason.
And fighting this co-op, so the co-op is interesting. There is a PvE area, and you can play this solo if you want, or only with friends. Like there's an option to just say, hey, I don't want random people showing up in my world. I just want invites only, basically.
So is this guy you're fighting an NPC or a player?
This is a
NPC.
NPC. A player will have
Players have
a name,
names.
yeah.
Oh, I got confused. I was trying to block too much.
So I noticed that certain limbs are being highlighted on the enemy at times. Is there some kind of... Is that like playing into a counter system or what?
Not really. Not in the sense of just like, oh, hey, that leg is highlighted. That means it's going to be something where I can use this particular move. It's more that when you see them highlighted, it indicates the attack in some way. So usually red attacks, like what Locke just did, are for stopping charges. So there's, longer moves that have a little bit of wind-up time. So those attacks are designed to kind of stop those wind-up attacks. Attacks like that, like he just did with the knee, the Muay Thai kind of a thing, are guard breaks. So that's what you're seeing with the kind of highlight there.
So were you guys not cooperating before, or do you have to reinitiate a party every time someone dies?
You have to reinitiate only if they die, like...
Off a cliff.
Off a cliff or whatever.
But Jason didn't die off a cliff there, he got killed by an NPC, and I just saw you have to...
It's because I canceled co-op with him because I wanted to fight him.
Ah.
And I didn't want to fight.
I went to do this, and I canceled instead, so...
Yeah.
My favorite emote is right beside the co-op button, so...
Sad. So something that you probably saw earlier too is that there is friendly fire. So for instance, Locke and I just can't get in here and mess everybody up and have no consequences. Like my kicks and attacks and stuff like that, if I don't time it right, it will hurt Locke and vice versa. So it's an interesting mechanic for how to do these fights, right? Like they really want to sort of one-on-one system, and part of that means that if you get in there with a co-op partner and start just throwing haymakers all willy-nilly and hit your co-op partner, they're going to get hurt.
Hey, Locke, what are the 3 gems floating behind your butt?
Those are my power gems.
They're called power gems? No, what are they actually called in this? I can't remember.
Essence?
Tension? Tension?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, they're shards, and they allow you to do things like heal. So you can see my bottom left, my quick slots there. I've got a heal spell on the left, and I've got an earthquake on the right. And you build up those shards by taking damage or doing a successful defensive move, like in my case, dodging, which I'm bad at.
They're like super meters?
Yeah, so here, like there, I just did my earthquake, which is a big AoE. And then the heal is actually quite interesting because it's over time, and you heal more if you do damage to a dude. So
the second that you get hit, the heal stops.
Yeah, it's off. It's kind of a neat way to do healing. You can go jack this sword. So there's also kind of three. Like I showed you the combat deck for bare fists, but there's another full combat deck you can make for weapons and war gloves.
Interesting.
Oh,
Sorry.
nope. Go
This
for
game
it.
certainly has a look.
Yeah, I
It's got some
dig.
style.
So the other thing there that you saw pop up quickly was as you get your butt kicked and block and dodge moves, you learn the moves of your enemies.
Yeah, I saw one pop up before.
Yeah, and it's awesome because it forces you to sort of, and I should say that you learn moves way quicker. There's a huge boost if you do a defensive move on it, like dodge or parry or block in Jason's case.
Whatever the
absorb,
special ability is of your school.
which is mapped to the right stick, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that makes you learn the moves way quicker, and it forces you to, like analyze their combat strings, and like some fighters have, as many as many hits as you, so they'll do like 8 or 9 moves, and some guys just do 3. I know.
So I've seen as you make strikes, there's like a little meter that either fills up or
So
is like timed.
yeah, it's your,
the white one that's
Yeah.
kind of like right above. Yeah, that's your stamina.
Okay.
Oh, nice double team there.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so the interesting thing with like the way that they have that experience system set up is kind of like Locke was saying, like it's forcing you to learn their attacks, but it's also kind of forcing you to learn when to use your special against them. So it's more of a, hey, you're rewarded for timing this right. So they really kind of want you to focus on
Not mashing.
Yeah, like, and there's a tooltip somewhere in there where, like, in reference to that stamina bar that says if you time things correctly on there, like there's a little meter indicator thing, and if you time it correctly, then you'll get like this smooth flow to your move, like to the combat, as opposed to like a little bit of a stutter. And so as a result, if you line that up correctly, right, you get a little bit more of a boost than you would otherwise. And, that tooltip is basically like, hey, learn this, time it, don't just sit there and smash.
So is there like missions that you take on, or is there a story? How does that work?
No
The story is
missions.
very loose.
Yeah, you're kind of dropped into this mysterious world, and you're told to go fight the Forsaken ones,
Marked ones.
and then that will unlock this giant tower, which can always be seen from each of the areas up there. So with this character, I've done 2 of the areas. This is the last one, and you can do them in any order. There's like each of the areas seems to have. So here's a marked one right here. Each of the areas seems to have a curious array of like good guys who are like awesome at fighting and guys who are kind of crap at fighting. So you're not like, you don't have to go to a certain area. Like I could have done this one first, but I decided to do it last. It's gonna get messy real quick.
Someone has entered the area.
That's probably another dude.
Oh,
Can you do a crane kick?
you're really faint there, Nick. What are you saying?
Can you do a crane kick?
Probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of different moves that are from some very recognizable things. So
I just ate shit there. I zipped when I should have zagged.
we'll just both respawn.
French fried when he should have pizza.
Yeah, definitely.
There's like Drunken Masters kind of moves. There's Muay Thai. There's lots of recognizable things from different martial arts schools. So there's all these little things that you learn along the way that you see, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I want to learn that and like incorporate that into my deck.
So is this Souls style? The area respawns when you die.
Yeah.
Oh, and also like sometimes like when you leave the area or whatever too.
Oh, I see. You brought a weapon and 2 friends.
I brought a lot of friends over here.
Yeah, we messed up. I gotta go to my. That
guy's got a jaunty outfit, though.
I know, he's very jaunty. Oh, jeez.
Alright, there's one dead. So the interesting thing too with these, the bosses. So there's the marked ones, which we saw before and lost, but there's also like actual boss encounters, and so the marked ones you can fight co-op. The bosses are strictly solo.
Huh.
And kind of what I started saying before, like, you know, the story's loose. This area as a whole, like, we're in, I think there's like a total of maybe like 8 areas, and you can probably move across the entirety of the map, like if you're just running or whatever, in about 30 minutes or so. Like, actually less than that, probably more like 20 minutes or so. It's not very huge. Oh man,
this guy's nuts.
Full of drunken moves.
Yeah,
I've never seen this dude before.
Absorb his knowledge.
I'm trying. He's gonna.
Locke needs to heal.
He's gonna absorb my. Not careful. I'm gonna absorb into the ground.
I got a heel kick with his name on it.
Sweep the leg! Sweep the leg!
Man, he just pulled out a sword.
I know, right?
So you guys were talking earlier about how the combat deck puts you into, like, each move puts you into a quadrant. Are you having to, like, pull different directions on sticks or something to,
no,
like,
you
stand
can
shift?
Like, there is a way to do that when you're locked onto an enemy, but for the most part, you stance shift based off of your combat deck. So you want to set up your combat deck in such a way that, like, if Locke gets back into it, he can show you better on the stream. But, like, basically, you execute a move, and that's gonna put you in a different quadrant, like one of the 4 different compass rows. And from there, then you can execute, like, eventually you'll get. You can do chains, right? So, like, your top row, like your upper right quadrant, eventually lets you have 3 moves slotted there, and that's like a combo, right? So the combo can be that at the end of the combo it takes you into another quadrant, or you can also do it where you do maybe 2 moves in that to put you into a different quadrant, and then execute an alternate move which could take you somewhere else. The alternate moves are listed separately, so there's this whole kind of flow to the combat in terms of you want to set up your combat deck that you know what move leads you where, and then you want to know why you want to be in that quadrant. Like, there's a lot about this, like, my experience with this has kind of been like between Injustice 2, when I played a bunch of that, and this has been like, okay, I'm starting to see some of the Matrix code with fighting games as far as, you know, this thing has this many frames of animation or whatever, it's going to leave you vulnerable for this. And what's more, though, like in this game, it's breaking it down to, when I execute these 2 moves, it leads me here or it leads me here, and which one I want to go to depends on what my enemy is doing. Like, and having to know these moves and read the foe. Like, they want you to take the time with it, because going through the entire game with a friend isn't going to take that long. Like, I played through the entire single player, got through it in about 4 hours, I think. That's not where they want you to spend the time. Is necessarily just going
it's like
through PvP.
Learning moves and making new decks is the appeal of this.
Yeah, and I hope that they add more to it. Like, I hope, you know, there's definitely more areas that you can play with friends. Like, the co-op is fun, but it's definitely not extensive. This is very much a PvP interest if not entirely focused, kind of affair.
Huh.
Oof.
All good.
There was a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Basically, what's your overall opinion so far of the game? They're debating whether or not to pick it up.
As a game, I love. I think it's
like
great.
it a
I think
lot.
it's very unique. As a co-op experience, I'm torn. I think there's some really cool stuff that you can do. I think it's awesome how they have this setup where it's like, okay, Locke and I can't get this close to each other for fighting because if we do, we're gonna just run into each other and mess each other up. But it's not like if you come into this with a friend, you're not going to spend a lot of time doing this unless you both want to kind of just sit here and get beat up by one of these guys, right? Like, all right, let me get my face beaten up some by this guy and learn some moves, and then I'll let you get your face beaten up, and we'll kind of advance together like that, because that's really some of the heart and soul of all this.
Yeah, I think so far the co-op is a nice to have, but it's not necessary. I think if you're interested in an interesting brawler with this really cool system, and yeah, I would definitely take a chance on it. I think I don't even remember the price. Is it like $20, $30, $40?
I think it's $20.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's fun to do with a friend. Like, don't
Yeah,
get me
totally,
wrong. Like,
yeah.
There's a great element of cooperation here to it, but it's not the same way that you'd run through like Dark Souls or
No.
Journey or anything like that, where you have this really engaging and cooperative kind of a thing. Like, you get like Locke and I are both here fighting these dudes, and we're trying to stay out of each other's way. And he's taking on someone, distracting or taking on another one, and that's great, and that's awesome. But if he wasn't here, there would be less dudes, so they actually scale based off of how many people are around.
Yeah.
And
It'd be
I
probably
wouldn't have to
2
necessarily worry
dudes.
about punching him in the face.
And there's also like NPCs will hit each other.
Looks like the game's actually $30. It's
Yeah.
on sale right now, 10% off for $26.
That's great. These girls are into fighting.
I feel like they upped the difficulty of this since I was playing through it.
Well, this lady with the hood is ruining my day.
Yeah, she's a Mark 1. Come get me.
Oh!
Oh. Yeah. Lead them away. Nope.
Oh. Dark Souls damage.
Oh, yeah, fall damage is no joke here.
Okay, 2 on 2. Now it's fair. Yeah.
Just kick your friend in the face. Now it's really fair. Oh.
There.
Yeah!
Wow.
I am the Kung Fu Master.
That was a sick right hook, Jason.
Thank you.
These girls are into Taekwondo.
They've been eating their Wheaties every day.
Man, that was a tougher fight. That was really good, though. I'm,
All right,
I'm
so-
sweaty.
Yeah. So
So-
did you get exhaust?
I got exhaust.
All right. So yeah. So the marked ones and the bosses will give you more magic spells that you can equip. And they have different moves. So like the exhaust, for instance, costs 3, but then for a period of 20 seconds, all of the stamina costs of your foes are increased, right? So they'll wear out faster. Right. So that's something that in PvE is kind of useful, but like very much, obviously this is a PvP sort of setup, doing that to a player character. Let me meditate real quick and
Yeah.
spend my hard-won points. All right.
Yeah, I'll say it again. To me, this looks like third-person Xenosaga, or not Xenosaga,
Xenoclash.
Xenoclash.
And I totally am with you on that one.
Like it's got
Funky world, yeah.
Funky world. Everyone looks real weird. and
No
all
animals
the
in this one
brawling.
though.
Everyone's wearing a mask. No father, mother.
There is
Yeah,
there is
well, that's true.
fashion. There is fashion though, so which is quite important.
Well, fashion is the true end game in any
Yeah.
decent game.
I like these gauntlets, but I do like these wraps. We'll go with that one.
Like how
Many
how
pants
much
do I have?
impact do the stat changes that these provide?
They only have defense for well, you can see on the right blunt and cut. So is blunt
Sure.
for, is that barehanded, Jason, or is that for the war gloves? Or different
Blunt
weapons?
is for barehanded.
Okay.
Cut is the edged weapon.
Edge weapons. So yeah. So one's for regular fighting and one's for when you're weapon fighting.
But like when you equip better armor, do you actually feel like you're gaining a considerable advantage versus that damage type, or is it just
No.
kind of?
A little bit, like not a huge. It's not like you're rolling with Havels or something like
Right.
that.
What
but
rings you
there's
got?
there's enough of a difference in the damage that you do take to like make you survive a little bit longer against some of this stuff. Like, and when I first came in here, I was like default kind of equipment, and was taking a bunch of damage and dying. Like I felt like I was dying constantly. After taking a few of these guys out, picking up some gear, I feel a little bit more survivable than I did. The other element to it is
Movement
you
or
probably saw
mobility.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So normal, fast, and I haven't gotten down to slow yet, but
Fat roll.
those, yeah, there's not really a dodge in that sense, but there are moves so the combat deck relies upon there's strength, there's dexterity, and there's also mobility. So like some moves, the faster that you are, the better, like the more damage those moves will do. It's a very interesting kind of way that they balance a lot of that stuff, and it doesn't seem like doing strength or endurance or anything like that doesn't let you equip more. Like it doesn't affect that stat whatsoever. You're purely putting stuff into your strength damage or your dex damage. Endurance is a very important stat just because it affects your stamina gauge, and I have gotten wrecked by some player characters who have high
Tons of
stamina
stamina,
bars
yeah.
that can just pull off like a long string of quick attacks that I don't have any defense against, really.
So here's a boss right here. I can interact with it, but it kicked Jason out of my party.
You should show off a boss.
Okay, I'll show off a boss. Let's fight this guy.
It's a pretty interesting boss. You should come get this little pillar thing first, though.
Damn it. Oh, hello, friends. I like their fashion.
Get the barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the guy on the right looks like Kyle Katarn almost.
So who's got that going for him?
Yeah. Hey, what about the fall damage?
I don't know.
They're bosses.
It doesn't apply to them.
Bosses don't care about fall damage.
So if you just sit there and block, can they just chip you to death, or?
Well, they'll probably use a breaking move, where like that one, the one where your appendage is on fire. Because that one just drains stamina.
Right.
It's not the button I wanted to hit. Hi, lady. Oh, that's an elbow to my mouth.
Stop getting hit, Locke.
I'm trying. I'm bad at this game. I'm trying to make them walk together so that
You can AoE them.
yeah.
Or
Or
will
like they hit each other,
if you
yeah.
aim them like that? Yeah, okay. Like, do you feel like it's difficult because you haven't yet mastered it, or difficult because the systems are not quite ready?
Difficult because I'm a spaz and I haven't mastered it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's
Like
definite precision to this that
like this guy's using definitely power elbows and these low sweeps, so I should be dodging. Like if I read his moveset right, I should be able to dodge out of the way or like interrupt his attack with one of my faster attacks. So right there, I just jumped did my Muay Thai attack and he swept. So I should be doing that more often. Oh, and there's MMA lady who just pulled out a knife, and I'm gonna get my shit kicked here. Oh, okay, just kidding. I'm the best at this game.
and that's just it. Like those moments where you're just like, oh, I'm the badass martial arts master.
Oops.
Come into my dojo are
Yeah.
what make this game so great.
Yeah.
It does seem pretty interesting. It's kind of, it's a little disappointing that it kicks you out of co-op to take on the bosses, but that is one of the critiques of a Souls game, is that taking bosses on in co-op kind of eliminates the difficulty. Not that this is a Souls game, but I could see why they'd make that choice.
Yeah.
What you got, buddy? What you got? What you got?
He's got nothing. See, I want this melee system in Fortnite.
Yeah, seriously.
Learn martial arts moves from husks.
Yeah, why not? I want to karate chop a zombie.
That would be pretty awesome. I won't lie.
I really want that jumping punch.
Well, parry that shit.
I don't. I'm a dodger, not a parrier.
Well, dodge it then.
I'm trying. Okay, lady, you just chill out for a second. The one thing I struggle with is fights like this where I'm against 2 or 3 and I'm bad at like managing who's attacking me and that sort of thing, so.
Little pro tip for you, Locke. Usually the person that you're not focused on will start attacking you, so you can switch. But that is my one big complaint about this game, I will say right now. Switching targets is
Sucks.
bad. And I mean that in like every sense of the word, because it is not like you just tap a button, you hold the right bumper, and then you have to flick the right stick. And that is not a good way to switch.
No. But, oh well, I'll fight those guys later.
There we go. Take that. Took out your sister, now what?
That's a dope boss fight.
That does seem pretty sweet.
I
do like deliberate fighting games like that.
Like I might even change up my combat deck just for that fight. To like get some more moves with dodge in it, because you can have attacks that auto dodge, these ones with the arrows here, because I know that lady goes high a ton and I could chuck something that goes low, like a low sweep, or something that gets out of the way, like these like surging palms. So but again, because my combat deck is like a huge full chain of like 8 attacks, I'd have to redo the whole thing, which I'm not going to do it right now, but it's like it's a fun experience. It's like editing a Magic deck. It's like, okay, if I get this and this, I'm weak on this, but I have these really cool attacks I can do. Yeah.
And it definitely feels like not exactly a meta, but there's parts to it where you just like, when you look at it and you're like, oh man, this is exactly what I want to do. This looks really cool. And then when you actually use it, you're like, oh, I see now. Like this is a cool chain, but it does not have the impact that I wanted it to, right? Like you see it just like, this doesn't go exactly through how I want it to or need it to in order to like break blocks or, you know,
Right.
mess fools up. I have to remember the Drunken Master guy that's back.
Yeah, that guy is awesome.
I need to go learn all those moves because that's definitely that's my style. That's my jam.
It's your Jimmy Jam.
That's my Jimmy Jam.
Dang.
Oh, that illusion kick is nuts. I have that one in my deck, but it's hard to read.
Kicks in this game can be very devastating. There's when I got to the end area, there's a person in there that uses like a series of 3 kicks, and the main reason they're tough is they can be really hard to read because a lot of them have the same windup, so you don't always know, is this going high, low, you know, where it's going, and you think you're out of the way of it, and then it just like, it's a sweeping roundhouse that belts you in the face and knocks you off the ledge and you die, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to switch to this dude who's wrecking my mouth right now, but is the blue the parry or the absorb, Jason?
Blue is the absorb.
This dude is absorbing the shit out of my attacks.
Parry is like if you're attacking a dude and all of a sudden your attacks stop, for lack of a better word. Like you just kind of, you hear a whoomp and you.
Oh, that's the parry.
That's the parry.
Oh, I almost got some health from that.
I kind of, as interesting as the parries are, I also kind of feel like they allow for the best follow-up for the dodger, like because usually whenever I fought someone who did a parry, I had a close-up view of them to see exactly what their next move was going to be, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I just dodged this way and then punch him in the face. And the different skills, special abilities, so absorb, dodge, and parry, like when you select those schools at the game, they kind of have a difficulty rating. So absorb, they say, is the easiest, although personally I've had the toughest time with it. That's probably just my brain, however it thinks and processes these things. Dodge is in the middle, and then parry is the hardest. Yeah, so it's out tomorrow on PS4 and PC. Like I said, as far as the co-op experience goes, like we'll have a full review up on the site, hopefully later this week.
Yeah, I'll probably write my part tomorrow and record on Wednesday.
So there's a lot of good gameplay mechanics here. Like as far as just like, hey, I'm looking for a fun, interesting game to play. I really dig this.
Yeah, I think so. I think people should take the chance on it.
And from a co-op perspective, I think there's fun to be had with a buddy, like running around and like, hey, okay.
Or even just fighting with a friend too, just like practicing.
Yeah, and going through and just being like, hey, like let's go to this area and there's some moves I want to learn, so your buddy can kind of, in some ways, your buddy can help you, right? Because when you take a bunch of damage and like you know, you can be like, hey, pull this guy off me so I can heal some, right? Like you have someone there to help you catch a breather so that you can actually not lose whatever progress you might have, right? So you can kind of help each other build your combat decks and learn moves and then practice them against one another, right? So there's definitely a good co-op aspect to that. There's an element that I haven't seen yet. I don't know if it's implemented or if it's just you have to win a certain number of PvP battles. There's a mentor-student relationship where people can form their own combat schools and teach other people how to do it. I know that you have to go through these combat trials and win certain numbers in order to be able to create your own fighting school. I don't know if that's required, like, in order to join one. It doesn't say anything about that kind of an aspect.
Oh, Jason, this dude just took multiple knees to the head. I win. I win the game. Can I invite you back now? I want to hold hands.
You need companionship.
That was an intense fight, man. They pulled out swords when they're losing. What a bunch of dirty players. Oh, I can change my weapon to a curved sword or a war. Alright. Damage by attack style. I'll try the sword for a bit. I'll try exhaust. I wonder if I got any new moves from that either. Let's see. Did I get anything fun? I know I got a... There we go. What's this? Spin elbow. Oof. Oof. That could be good. That could be good. But I don't want it to replace my heel kick. Let's try this. So yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of this afternoon just kind of like going through and picking out decks that, or like building a deck that kind of ran through all my moves that I had unlocked, and now that I'm getting more stuff, I can like do that again, and there's room for more decks. I assume you unlock those when you beat the game, Jason, do you know?
I think those have to come from the combat school.
The school, maybe, yeah.
Because, yeah, I've beaten the game, and you get some stuff from it, but not like that.
Right. Are you still fighting the boss?
I'm fighting another player.
Oh, nice.
Losing.
Okay, well, I'll set, you can join whenever there's a distraction to get your head kicked in. Let's see. I hope you get access to a lot of good emotes at the start. Get the Matumbo, no. This is very important. Just be like, I don't know what's going on. But now that I think I can go to the tower, which probably don't stream because it is the end of the game, but hope people get the idea of what Absolver's all about. I think it's really cool. I've been not closely following the game, but like kind of watching it from a distance, and yeah, I'm liking what they're doing here.
Yeah, it seems pretty neat.
But yeah, that's funny that you mentioned Xenoclash, Mike. That's like totally what went through my head. I was like, why is everyone kind of fucked up? And like, I can manually change what quadrant I'm in here. So if I want to like, boom, just stick him with a heel kick. That's the one. Oh, this guy knows the MMA jump. This dude needs to teach me some things.
gotta dodge it.
Yeah, it's an easy dodge too. Oh, he's got a bunch of moves I need. Hello, friend. Let's learn from each other.
Hey, why did he touch himself?
I don't
just
know.
Now?
Yeah, the parry thing is weird. It makes it so easy to dodge. Maybe that's the rock paper scissors effect. I don't know. Hello, friends. Are you having a hard time?
Have you heard the good news about our Lord and Savior, the spinning snap kick?
Yeah. This one, sweet chin music.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
You should draw that sword out of the ground.
I know I should. Thing is, I've actually been kind of... Oh, make these two idiots hit themselves.
Whoever draws this sword from the ground shall henceforth be the king of Weirdo Island.
Exactly.
Yo, chill, dude.
Alright, toss me another invite whenever you're ready, Locke.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill these two bowl-cutted motherfuckers. Frog stance on your ass.
Frog stance.
I'm just mostly alluding to my frog mask.
Ah.
What's up, homie? I saw you enter the area, Jason. Is that you?
Did I?
Is this you? Yeah, that's you. Hey, don't hurt my friend.
Especially while he's trying to respond to your co-op message. Alright, where are we going to end this?
We're gonna go up here.
Okay.
It's just...
Should PvP each other to death.
That's true. We should PvP after that. Is this the tower? Are we straight up in the tower now?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Well, we can go to the entrance of the tower and fight till we're naked.
Okay.
Fight till you're naked.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Lots of grunting and yeah.
'Cause you know,
So yeah, this is another little, like, again, I was talking about before. So the door that Locke just opened, you know, you come up to that.
it's
you
just
can get
like
up to
Dark
this area another
Souls.
way, and if you come up to that, it's, you know, yeah, you have to open it from the other side.
So is it like a shortcut now?
It's a shortcut. I'm like,
In a way.
it's beautiful.
I mean,
Hey, here's my friend. I want a sweet mask with a little symbol on the front.
Well, take it.
I know, right? Absolvers. Ugh. The intro move for this is actually pretty damn cool too. Keep getting new mitts. Your last guy, Jason, had such a jaunty cape. I really need that.
that's what you get for beating the game.
Okay, good. I'm ready. My body is ready.
So we're gonna do this. I declare fight.
I declare fight. Okay, well, first off,
Bow.
bend salute, and then
No, no, no.
come at me, bro. Let's do this. Ready? You want some fucking chin music right in the teeth?
All right.
This game has the Dikembe Mutombo move.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
My
jeez.
favorite when they added it to Destiny.
Oh. Oh, I keep messing up the timing on that.
Don't let him corner trap you, Jason.
I keep on just eating your elbow.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nom nom nom.
Oh, let's just chill on the quickness. Oh, Jason! You snapped my neck.
Choo.
That was so good.
Then salute. I salute you.
I will do.
Yeah.
I will do. Where's my sad one?
Victory.
We did it.
I don't know.
We did it.
We did it.
Well done.
Absolver's really cool. It's a tight experience, and I think people should play it because it's quite unique. And combat decks are pretty badass, especially when you unlock like a ton of moves, which I'm excited to do. Like I'm excited to beat this game and then go through and unlock more moves, especially those drunken master ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get back and get those. There's I think that's one of my favorite things about it is just the way that it makes you learn this stuff is.
Well,
it's forced me to slow down.
That's the thing. It forces you to not just mash X, right? Like you want to analyze your enemy and see what's going on, because you know they only have X amount of moves. Whether it's like they'll have 6 to 12 moves in their string, plus their alternative attacks. But it's really smart the way they've like you said, make people slow down, but then it's kind of an endless tutorial of the game.
Uh-oh, we're getting into it.
Yeah, we're getting into it, dude. You just snapped my neck. Oh, dude, yeah. Come on. What? Want some of this? Oh, I hope my mic gets to see that.
Oh, I had just turned it off. I thought you guys were done.
I did a taunt into a feint or a taunt into a dodge. It was pretty awesome. Oh, dude, this guy's like Sagat.
It's giving you the tiger uppercuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging that. I'm still feeling the headache from Jason's heel. It's like
Dormek is wrecking my face right now.
yeah, Dormek needs to eat some exhaustion. Yeah, Dormek, let's chill on the dodge.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
I'm just gonna give you a flashback of a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's...
You want that flying fist?
These dudes have tons of moves I don't have.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like, every area is like that. Anyways, yeah, we should probably stop the stream there, but,
After I mess up Dormek, dude.
out tomorrow, PC, PS4, $30 on sale.
You should play it.
You should play it, especially if you're like, I never really got into fighting games. Like, I think there's a lot about this that...
Or if you're
people
like, I
coming
like
into-
weird things like Xenoclash.
Yeah, but like, if the whole fighting game scene isn't your thing, and you're just like, I don't want to remember, you know, I don't remember like Hadoukens and all this other kind of stuff. Figuring out these combo chains, like
Just make your own.
make your own, right? Like, and it doesn't require any complex moves. It's literally just
X
button
and Y,
Y
yeah.
button. But it teaches you so much about like that thinking of how to get through that stuff.
And reading opponents. Really,
Yeah.
like, learning how to block, learning how to dodge.
So, anyways, Absolver.
Absolver. We'll go out
Slow clap.
on Jason finding this marked one. Or not marked one. Just a faceless one. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
I'll probably do another stream later on this week. We'll see what happens. But
We're gonna stream the Destiny 2
Tomorrow.
PC beta tomorrow.
yeah, watch
Yep.
for that. Check it out. Same place, same time.